I think, we can talk all we want about the Royals and the situation with the All-Star voting on the American League side, but I think it's an absolute travesty that on the National League side that he's third in the voting. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you look at the numbers, he's got much better numbers than Carpenter and Bryant. If you look at he is 1.6 wins above replacement above Carpenter, and I think he's a full win above replacement above Bryant. That doesn't sound like a whole lot. That's a lot. That's a huge difference. I mean, you're talking about his WAR is something like 3.6. So you're talking about very small numbers. To have that big of a gap and to be that far behind in the All-Star voting is just ridiculous.
Well, you got to love his attitude. I mean, he's Mr. Cincinnati right now, holding his team together. He's not too cocky, but he also holds his own. He says, I should be an All-Star. And I love that attitude. And everyone, I think, in Cincinnati has got to rally behind this guy.
I think he'll get selected. He'll get selected. Don't you think he'll get selected?
If he's not on the team,
right, I'm not going to the game.
There's some major problem.
Right.
Regardless
Burn down the ballpark.
I mean, even if it wasn't in Cincinnati, if he wasn't on the team, it would be an absolute injustice. No. But with it being in Cincinnati, I gotta think he's the spokesperson for the All-Star game.
Right.
So they'd put him on if he was hitting 250.
Yeah. Well, he's got to be captain of the home run. I mean,
I think he's in the home run derby, isn't he?
Yeah, they got to put him there too.
He looks,
Who goes? But I mean, it's probably not a bad time to talk. I think he goes. I think Chapman will go. I think they'll select Chapman.
Yeah.
I think anybody else makes it.
I kind of feel like Chapman's not. I don't know.
I don't know if Chapman deserves to go, but I think he will go. He'll go on name and on the pop and the buzz.
And that's how the All-Star game is. We were talking about that before. Barry Larkin didn't get selected for years because Ozzie Smith, and Johnny Bench got selected for years when he was past his prime just because he was Johnny Bench. As long as he's played catcher, he was going to get in, no matter who you were.
Yeah, and
that just kind of goes on forever.
That raises the point, though, Matt. Should fans be voting on this thing? I mean, I get it.
Now you're talking about the commissioner's office, and that's a whole.
Well, you afraid you're going to get fired?
No, I'm just saying the decisions they make. Who the heck knows? The fact that the World Series home field is decided in this game is ridiculous.
That's the most ridiculous thing of all.
It's decided by a fan vote.
Right.
No, but that's it. I mean, literally,
that's true.
Literally,
that's horrible.
The American League could lose home field advantage in the World Series because there are a bunch of people sitting in their computers out in Kansas City going like this.
Yeah.
That's what this. And that's why I say, should the fans have the vote, or should it be a vote among managers and players?
Well, here's a funny one. What if it ended up costing Kansas City the World Series because their fans stack the All-Star team with Kansas City Royals and they lose home field advantage and then they end up losing in the World Series because of that?
Funny. That's
I mean, it
good.
could hurt them.
I like the fact that, us fans can vote. I just don't think 35 times a day that's ridiculous. I mean, where'd that number come from?
I know. That was good. Yeah, we're not going to let you do too much, but 35 is all right.
35. Not 36. 36 is too many.
Yeah.
Well, you remember how it all left. They let the fans' hands in '57 after that debacle with the Cincinnati Post, and then a woman that had a talk show in this town, and then
wasn't there a bar in town that handed them out every night?
And the newspapers too.
Yeah.
Right? They had like a ballot inside the newspaper.
That was my favorite part. Was there was a bar that you had before they would give you a beer, you had to fill out an All-Star game ballot.
I love that. Let's do that again.
Yeah. Maybe we can do it in reverse. You fill out the All-Star game ballot, and then you get the beer.
Right, because we want you to do it sober.
But I mean, Ruth Lyons on her show was like urging people to keep voting, which is her right to do, but it's like at a certain point it becomes ridiculous. And you could vote back then with on napkins and anything. Just put them in an envelope and send them. So I don't know if it's a good idea. I think maybe one vote per IP address. I could take that, but 35 votes. Yeah. That's it's an arbitrary number, and it really and truly violates, I think, what the All-Star game is supposed to be about.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, or like if there was some way to have it. They started with a selected list until it was whittled down. There was the top 5 at each position that you could vote on, so you can't go. I mean, even in the National League side, Nori Aoki, because he was with the Royals last year, has gotten this huge. I think he's 3rd or 4th among outfielders. Right. I mean, the guy's he's not even close to an All-Star caliber player.
He's great to play, though. He gets on.
Oh yeah, he does. But
it's fun to watch.
Is he an All-Star? I wish the Reds had him on the team.
Well,
I take him over Marlon Byrd.
There were a lot of people in Kansas City with a lot of time on their hands.
That's true.
I think it's that, and I think there also probably are maybe some computer program infiltrations to try to figure that out.
Well, speaking